Hi everyone, my name is Greg.roe and I'm a member of Team Canada's national trampoline team. Today I'm going to be talking about exactly how to create rotation on a trampoline. This is more for all you parkour and freerunner guys out there who really just kind of are chucking things at the moment. Most of the trampoline people kind of understand how this works, but it's a nice refresher, so please enjoy. I will be talking to you guys more about just the principles rather than how to coach it or all the drills. I will speak of a couple drills that I really like to do, but generally we're just looking at the mechanics of how it is done rather than how to make somebody do it. In later videos, I will go into detail about how to spot and what the technical aspects are for all the coaches out there that are trying to teach your athletes how to do proper front tucks and back tucks. But right now, we're just looking at the principle because the video is going to be about 20 minutes long. So we'll have another part later on. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take off your socks because you're going to need to grip the trampoline bed to flip. Secondly, you're going to want to jump with your arms above your head like this, where they can stay there. You want to try to have a straight line through your back all the way up to your fingertips. You do not want your shoulders or the angle in your shoulders being forward of your head. This will make it really hard to keep the arms up, as the gravity every time you land is going to force your arms down, like you can see here in this video. If you don't understand what's going on here exactly, watch my shoulder tutorial. It is in the description. It will give a more in-depth explanation of proper shoulder mechanics. So assuming we want to start flipping, we got to remember that the flip comes from the toes. If I want to flip backwards, I'm going to flick my toes forward. If I want to flip forward, I'm going to flip my heels behind me. This gives you rotation, not dropping the chest, not tucking into a position, not throwing the head, nothing. Just by hitting the heels or the toes forward or backwards. So once you kind of understand how this works, you'll feel it when it's right. You start flicking the toes forward and you go rotate to your back. This is just a quarter flip, so you don't need too much energy. Don't land on your head. But if you can see your toes the whole time and you're not flying off the trampoline sideways or something, you're probably doing it right. As you can see here, when I start doing my back flips, this will take a while for you to get up into it, but you can see that my toes are flicking forward, and when I go back, my body's completely straight. I'm not arching back. I'm looking at my toes the whole time. You can do this for your pikes as well. After you do your back layouts, back layout is easier just to flick the toes. You don't want to worry about position yet, just because it's something else to think about, but you can do that like the back pike I just did. And start really flicking, look at the toes, then you can tuck, you can pike, you can do any kind of rotation that you want. But you have to remember that the first quarter has to be a layout. If it looks something like that, you're not going to go too far. So let's start looking at some front takeoffs. As you can see here, we're doing stomachs. We're doing a little bit of heel drive. And this is probably my favorite drill, as it really emphasizes the takeoff, holding, and then the heel drive. So when you're doing this drill, all you're really thinking about is throwing the heels up and squeezing your butt on the takeoff. Keep your head up. You can actually look at the ceiling when you're doing this drill. It will really help enforce good body position. If your chest is down on the takeoff, you're going to lose the entire effect. You have to be jumping as if you're doing a pre-bounce and then flick the heels right as you come out of the bed. Start with layout, but like there, you can go into pike, you can go into tuck, you can go into any flip you want, but at least get that layout takeoff first. So do some front tucks here. As you can see, go straight up and down, arms are behind the ears. There's a bit of a heel drive. You cannot really do the heel drive on a front tuck. You can a little bit, but it's not really the end of the world, especially for all you parkour guys out there that really don't need to. For you trampolinists, make sure you practice the heel drive. It's going to be very important, as you'll see later in the video. But you go front pike, you go front layout, you can go front full, Branny, Rudy, anything that you can think of. Just make sure you do a heel drive first and then do your flip. If it looks something like that, then you probably didn't do it right. And you may laugh, but we get a lot of people to jump high and then do a flip like that. They're just not confident, they're just throwing their chest down. As you can see here, we're going up, we're starting to do the extra quarter to stomach, so we're getting ready for our doubles. The same principles apply. You do a heel drive, you pike, heel drive, then tuck, heel drive, then stay straight if you want to. So let's start looking at some doubles. What you got to remember is that it's the exact same thing as a single. You just have to be more aggressive. So you'll see that my heels are going to come up like a layout, then I tuck. You can tuck, you can pike, you can stay straight, you can do whatever you want, but you have to have this heel drive. And you can see again there. It's really important that you practice this. I do a lot of flip straights to really enforce the layout takeoff, like there. So do lots of flip straights. That's the main one that's going to help you actually quite a bit. Think about having your chest up, looking almost at the ceiling when you take off. Theoretically, you're supposed to be looking down, but with your head up. But find whatever works for you. You can actually jump looking up if you'd like to at the start. But so play with it, and you can see the flip is here is really easy. Once you get the heel drive, you just snap the heels like a layout, tuck really quick, and in and out, just like the pike. Not in for more than a millisecond. So you can see it works with triples, it works with quads, it works with quint, it works with every skill you can think of. You may note that when we start doing bigger tricks, you can't really see a heel drive, even on the doubles. This is just because that it happens so fast that I have to kind of merge them together. There's a quick heel drive to the point where I get the stomach drop, and then I tuck really fast from there. If I tuck earlier than that, I don't get the rotation, but if I tuck later than that, then I don't have enough time because I've spent too much of my flip laid out. And this works for pikes, for tucks, for, well, not layouts obviously, but you kind of get the idea. And there's a quad there. If I were to do a layout then triple front half out, would never make it. So we just kind of mix them together. Perfect example is this. If I go and I look something like this, and it's really slow, it just means that I did not do the heel drive. That's how you can tell the difference. So for back takeoffs, it's the exact same thing. You start off with your double layouts, just flicking the toes and looking at the toes, and then you get into your position. So you see a nice double layout there, my arms are up, I just flick my toes, it floats really nicely if you do it right. That one I lean back a little bit, but you get the idea. So now here's a double pike. You can see that my toes are, my body's straight, and then I piked. I didn't pike too early. And it's the same thing for when you do a tuck. You start with like a layout, and then you tuck. Pretty simple once you get the hang. As you can see on this triple back, I'm going to kick my toes and then tuck really fast. Faster you can do that order of operations, kick toes then tuck, the more you rotate. If your double layout looks like that, then go back to the drawing board, don't try triple. Look at the toes the whole time. If you can float as you're doing it, it feels like, wow, I got so much time, then you're doing it right. If it goes low, long, and far, you're probably not looking at your toes. You see that one I just tucked too early, didn't rotate, didn't have the zip that I needed for the other triple back. So let's look at a few drills that I like to do. This is one of my favorite. You put chicken grip, or you can put tape or something like that. Keep your arms about just a few inches apart, and you flick your toes. This eliminates the ability for the head or the arms to really do anything, and you're just relying on the fact that you can flick your toes over your head. Great drill for all the kids out there that just are scared and they want to look back. You're going to probably have to spot them for the first few because it can be a little nerve-wracking, especially for the younger guys. But you can do a forward as well. You just snap the heels over, keep your arms up as long as you can. If you can keep up the whole time, it means you probably got a really powerful heel drive. If you find that you have to drop the arms just to make it around, then that means you need to squeeze your butt a little bit more and really be forceful with the heels up. As you can see, you can also do brannies, which are fun. If you do it right, you'll feel, again, you'll surprise yourself. You'll be like, oh, whoa, I actually have some time here at the end. And it will feel different than normal, and that just means you did it right. So just keep doing it 1,000 times, you will get it. This is another one. This is the next step. Once you've done the chicken grips, which does all the work for you, now to hold the foam there, it's actually a little bit more difficult than you think, especially for people like me who have really tight shoulders. But you're just flicking the toes, looking at the toes the whole time. Pretty simple. So that's pretty much about it. It's pretty simple. For all you new guys out there, just chuck this into a pit or onto a mat or something. Don't just do it by yourself. Don't need you guys landing on your heads. For all you veterans out there, it's important that you go back and you revisit these drills every day, at least a little bit, or at least regularly per week, just so you don't forget all the details that make you a really good athlete. So thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Please leave a comment, like, share, tell all your friends, and let me know if there's any other tutorials you'd like me to make. Thanks. Bye.